Groups 8 Tournament Preview Show with Sports Director Travis Lee on Channel 8 WMTW.
Our boys' games of the year, so many to choose from, but tough to beat this one as they close down the Edward Little Gym. Eli St. Laurent, the game winner at the buzzer to beat Lewiston. South Portland's Jalen Jackson had 3 last-second shots to win games this year. This one at Portland was a pretty good one. Evan Dupre goes the length of the court in the final seconds to score the winning shot against Greeley. And an all-time great one, Greeley topping Freiburg in 8 overtimes. Our boys' games of the year, some amazing finishes there. Now, as the son of a high school basketball coach, coaching has always been something that Lewiston's Elgin Physick was interested in. Law enforcement? He never planned on that. But time in the Army and as a corrections officer put him on the path to becoming a state trooper. The boys on his Lewiston High School basketball team are well aware there is another side to Coach Physick they don't see when he walks out the door after practice. There's Corporal Physick of the Maine State Police. And the way Physick teaches his boys, his life in uniform is another vehicle he uses to teach.
I always tell kids kind of what I've seen, you know, how I dealt with some things that were, you know, traumatic to see. So it's I think it's good that kind of kids just kind of see me as a human versus kind of this guy that just comes in and is, you know, I'm human too.
His coaching career took him from middle school, club, community college, and high school assistant jobs before taking the Lewiston job last year. Not surprisingly, his players' well-being is a priority.
He always making sure we're good and making sure we're home safe. Like he would tell us to text him right after games to make sure we got home, and then he'll focus on his job.
While Physick is law and order at work, his players see his different sides.
There's times where he is strict, but there's also times where it's like if we start joke around or someone makes a joke or something, you can see that like fun side of him and that like non-serious side of him, but he also can flip the switch and be super strict when it's important for us.
Physick says the state police have worked with him to allow him to live out this part of his life, but there are still times when he finishes up on the bench and immediately puts on his uniform.
So there's a lot of those nights where I'll leave here, rush home and change, and then I'm heading south on the turnpike. So a classic example is we go up to Bangor last year, right? Have a triple overtime win, and then all of a sudden I got to drive straight down to work. I find basically some place to pull off and change, and I'm on the job.
Physick's Lewiston team figures to be one of many teams that hope they'll be the last one standing in the AA tournament. In the South, Noble was on its way to a home playoff spot before losing 4 of 5. John Morgan's team's entertaining, and sophomores Jameer Rose and Bryce Guitard can fill it up. Elliot Bouchard gives Bonnie Eagle a piece few teams can counter. The Scots closed with 4 straight wins. With gunners like Ashton LeClaire, Gorham has the ability to shoot themselves to victory against anyone. The Rams had a 4-game losing streak in the middle of the year but closed by winning 7 of 8. Jalen Jackson gives South Portland one of the most clutch players in Maine. Gabe Galarraga's work inside will be key for the Red Riots. Thornton's deep and has an alpha it can depend on in Will Davies, who leads the South in scoring and assists. Cheverus's Silvano Ishmael is the type of player that can carry a team to a championship. Lewiston won't be an easy out. Yusuf DeCane just wears other teams down. Portland is best when its defense turns to offense, but Remy Jowani and company could cause problems for other teams inside. Oxford Hills, the preseason favorite, captured the #1 seed in the North. Tegan Pelletier is a difference maker, but is surrounded by underrated talent. And that just shapes up to be a terrific tournament that AA North won, Michael.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. And you really have some top-end talent in that tournament. It's interesting how these teams have kind of played each other and beaten each other. You know, Portland's had a great season. Remy Jowani has really come alive. His first year with the team, it took him a little while to get up to speed, but he's playing so well now. But they haven't been able to solve Lewiston or Oxford Hills. Oxford Hills, of course, had the 1 loss to Lewiston. Cheverus has been very competitive against those teams, too. Ismail might be the best single player in the AA North tournament. So they're certainly going to be heard from too. I think we're hearing more about Oxford Hills. They were in the state game last year, so for good reason they're probably the favorite going into the tournament this year. But Portland could beat them, Lewiston could beat them, Cheverus certainly could beat them on a given day. So a lot of good teams in that region and a lot of really, really good players, which I think is often the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And how about this? Lewiston and Edward Little end up in that 3-6 game. They play one more time. Edward Little beat them twice during the regular season. So we talked about matchups to begin the show.
You never know.
That's a tough matchup for Lewiston. And AA South, Thornton, they're the team to beat.
They clearly are, and maybe a big reason for that is they played South Portland twice, and they beat South Portland pretty handily twice. But let's not forget, 3 years ago, South Portland was undefeated. They beat TA twice in the regular season. The third meeting in the regional final was a totally different story. Don't sleep on Gorham. They shoot the ball so well. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They've beaten TA. They've beaten South Portland. And Bonnie Eagle, of course, with the big man, Elliot Bouchard, they've come on strong of late. And they had a recent win over TA. So he'll be heard from. He'll be in the mix. South Portland, the defending champs, they have a very different look this year. But the way Jalen Jackson's playing right now and his penchant for the big shot, pretty remarkable. If a game is close late, if you're the other team, you might want to defend him with 5 guys because he keeps coming up with these big shots.
It's kind of Jalen and the Miracles
yeah, exactly.
has been for those guys. And, Noble might be a little ahead of schedule, but the way that those young players play, carrying that team, they could shoot anybody out of the gym on a given night. And, it's going to be interesting, that AA tournament, Michael, for sure. Scarborough's got some size. It could be an interesting matchup for teams if they're able to keep people from scoring. But right now, it shapes up to be a terrific AA tournament. And we appreciate you joining us here tonight, Michael, to talk high school basketball as we have broken down all of the classes here as we head into tournament week, the prelims and the AA quarterfinals. Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us on the Hoops 8 Tournament Preview Show. Remember, Hoops 8 every night, 11 o'clock throughout the tournament. We appreciate you joining us tonight, and we'll catch you at the tournament.